art is, it's also one of the places I love to go to when I need to remind myself about why I do what I do, is to go watch the students who are making art. As it unfolds and we add more and more classes that match the level that our students need, it's going to be, how should I say, it's going to be very interesting to watch students who it's not unlike the other art forms where they might be really good at one thing in visual art. Often our young men or male students come in and all they want to do is anime, for example, and see how the teachers have pushed them so that they're trying things they never thought they could do. Or students who only have been drawing and maybe not particularly understanding what's behind the drawing, watching them become a sculpture, creating sculpture. So it's adding graphic design, which is something we've known all along we've needed, but it's about resources and now finally being able to have some Macintosh computers and the right software and the right faculty to include that as what we're doing as well, which is what we need also for a good photography department. So and sadly for visual art, a lot of it is about the stuff. That's the one department that they just cannot do their art without the materials. And so as we are getting more and more of the right materials, it's very exciting to watch them expand to do different things. I'd like to talk about the facility that we have, because not only are the inside studios amazing, but we have outside space. And one of the things I learned before we opened the school by visiting many art schools around the country is that even some of the very best that we already know of as the very best in the nation for high school arts training, some of them are landlocked to the point that they could not have an outdoor art studio. And I learned that if you have outdoor space, it is gold for a visual art department, because there are so many things that only can be done outside, whether it's big wood sculptures, whether it's metals, whether it's just the materials that really it doesn't even lend itself to bring inside. So the fact that we have some space near us as we're developing the theater next door, that at some point we can turn into an outdoor studio lab, is huge for our visual arts students. And again, it's not typical and it's not common because of the locations of some of the schools. That's an important part. So if we're graduating a student who wants to go to the Chicago Art Institute, they really do need that kind of, there's something not quite there yet if that's not a full complement of arts foundation to be able to work in an outside studio. Art studios in our area, we are very lucky to have, name it, Craft Alliance just down the street. Our art students, plus the Contemporary Art Museum and the Pulitzer, all of those three are literally a block and a half away. And all of them are art students, whether it's doing research at the Pulitzer, whether it's the Pulitzer opening when they're closed for our faculty and our students to go down there and be able to be in their studio spaces, whether it's the same thing that happens at the Contemporary. Tomorrow, our art classes are walking to the Craft Alliance there's a new installation being done tomorrow, and the artist is going to be working with our students, and she's going to be installing her installation for the students to be able to see that, watch her do that, get to question her about her thinking, what was behind her decisions about what she's using in the installation. Our art students, their canvas is really much bigger than just our art studio spaces here. And we're very lucky that we have so many partners that are so close that we can take advantage of that. And they're very good to us, wanting our students to be in their spaces. So it's very exciting. So our art show at the end of last school year, I don't know what I loved more. I loved seeing the art itself as a standalone pieces, or if it was the students who would proudly stand next to their piece of art because they were so proud of what they'd done, or if it was the huge number of people that came to support the art show. To me, that speaks to the community of our school, that it wasn't just the parents of the students who had art in the show. Lots and lots and lots of families whose students are not visual artists were there to support them. So And it was the students who were performing and playing music at the same time. It felt wonderful. I've been to many art shows over my lifetime that are centered around student work. I don't think I've ever enjoyed an art show quite so much because of the synergy. It felt exciting, and you often don't. Art shows often are not that. They're often a thing of beauty, and you can admire the art, but it just felt different. It felt very. It just felt really good with all those components together. So, and the quality of the art too. That truly was the shining star, but the rest really supported that. It was very exciting.